episode of the Strategic Joy series. Today, I want to talk to you about boundaries and why they're important in this era. Because if you don't have boundaries, you'll say yes to everything, and people will treat you the way they think you should be treated versus how you want to be treated. So let's break that down a little further. Saying no to something that drains you allows you to say yes to something that sustains you. Think about all those years that you, well, let me just tell you, I've spent a number of years giving so much of myself to others. Some of it I had to. I was a mother. I needed to prioritize my children and my family. And oftentimes I had to prioritize my work. Now, I did feel guilt on occasion between how I prioritize the two. And I had to learn sometimes I had to say no to opportunities at work to protect the boundaries of my family's peace. There were times I had to explain to my family, I can't be there because I have this work deadline. That's a delicate balance for us to undertake oftentimes, especially as moms. Okay. But I'll say this when you really understand that it's okay to have boundaries, then you begin to realize that those who love you won't care either way. They'll respect those boundaries, actually, and they'll respect you for having boundaries. Now, I've talked a little bit about how boundaries and having them can help you refuel and making sure you can sustain yourself. But let's talk a little bit about how having boundaries can make sure you're protecting your peace, right? Having peace is so important in this day and time, especially with all the chaos that we hear that's going on in this world. Because if we allow a lot of the negativity and toxicity that exists right now to seep in, it will absolutely rob us of our joy. And that's counterintuitive to this strategic joy era. So I say to you, make sure that you are guarding your peace. Anyone in your circle, anyone that tries to be a part of your circle, you make sure that you have the same energy when it comes to positivity. Because that's where we are right now. Because what happens when you have negativity around you, it drains your energy. Okay? And then when you have people around you that are draining your energy, there's nothing left for you to be able to pour into yourself. Having boundaries allows you to build yourself up so you can be your whole authentic self in all spaces, whether it's at home, whether it's at work, or whether it's in friendship relationships. So let's talk about those friendship relationships well and making sure we're imposing boundaries there. I'll say this ensuring that your circle believes in you as much as you believe in them is so important. So if you have friends around you that are haters or jealous, quite frankly, you need to step back. Because in this strategic joy era, you're only allowed to have, and I'll say that because I want success for you. So I want you to understand how important it is to surround yourself with people who believe in you as much as you believe in them. That's why I say you're only allowed to have positive people around you. Because you know what? The negative friends, the friends who pull on you, the friends who are quietly hating, invite them to be a part of the strategic joy era. Invite them to do the work that's needed to make sure they can hear that positive voice, to make sure that they can get clarity and alignment in their life. Because when you have a group of friends who are like-minded in this journey, you're all going to be successful together. I say all this to say that boundaries are so important for the wholeness of your journey. Because when you don't have boundaries, people will trample all over you. People will make you feel like you are less than. And that's absolutely not true. In this joy era that we're in, we're all doing amazing things. We're all stepping out in a different kind of way. We're all making sure that we're quieting the noise so that we can understand and see our true purpose, right? So in order to get there, I want you to draw the line in the sand when it comes to your boundaries and how you allow people to treat you. And the way that you begin to train people and allow them to treat you, that's the way they're going to begin to think about you. So you want to think about who you are before they even think about how they're going to treat you. So again, I say to you all, come along with me on this joy journey. Join me on my joy circle on Facebook because we're going to talk about tools that you can use to establish those boundaries that you need to protect your peace and to protect your space and to also make sure that you are receiving clarity and alignment to be the best version of you that you can be.